Ladies and gentlemen, the Super Bowl is set. Super Bowl 59 is on docket for next week. Not this week, next week. They do the bye week. Smartest thing they do in all sports, I got to be honest.
It's a great thing.
Gets it all wrecked and ready to go.
It gives people time to talk.
So who's in it, Dimitri? Well, let's start in Philadelphia. You got a little bit of the Eagles taking on the Commanders last week. Saquon Barkley, who everybody was talking about maybe being MVP, showed everyone why he should be MVP.
Agreed.
Philadelphia crushes the Commanders. Commanders had a little bit of a chance there, but at the end, it was the cream that rises to the top, as we said. Philadelphia and those greasy pulls off to the Super Bowl again.
Well said.
Who are they going to take on? So we go over to Kansas City. Kansas City's waiting. They're going, hey, Taylor, why don't you sing us a song, honey? Why don't you sing us a song? She says, no, pay me. They're like, no, you're too much money. Buffalo rolls in. Josh Allen goes, I'd pay if my girlfriend wasn't, or my fiance wasn't looking. I'd pay you. Either which way. Ladies and gentlemen, it was the game of the week. I watched it from start to finish, enjoyed it. Buffalo versus Kansas City. It was a good game. It was back and forth. But at the end, I said it a second ago, the cream rises to the top. Now, with a little, some people will say with a little help of the NFL referees, not as much as the first time. I could see what people are trying to talk about. But it's Patrick Mahomes going, ladies and gentlemen, for those that don't know, and I'm sure you've heard this, he's been to the AFC Conference Finals 6 years in a row. All 6 years he's been in the NFL?
Yeah.
All 6 years he's been there. And now he's off to try to win the unprecedented 3 for 3 in the Super Bowl. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Kansas City Chiefs taking on Philadelphia Eagles. Dimitri, thoughts on Philly, thoughts on KC and the wins last week?
How much runway do we got here?
You got a little bit of time.
Ladies and babies, honey sugar babies, what'd I tell you? What have I told you,
did call it.
Since the beginning of the year? I said, I have no reason to think why anyone is better than KC in the AFC. Did I say it, Mitch?
You did say it.
Did I say it?
You said it a few times.
And then when I went to San Francisco with old brother-in-law Brendan.
Right.
What did I say when I got back?
You said, I've never seen a guy like that. Never seen anything like that.
Team will win under any circumstances necessary. So is it fair to say that I called it? Did I call it?
You called.
I called it. And then here's the other thing. What have I been saying about Philadelphia?
You said they're good.
All year round. Every time I talked about the Eagles, I said, but I'm not going to say it.
You didn't ever said it out loud.
I said I would end the segment and I would say
behind the scenes.
But behind the scenes,
not to your face.
I said I'm not going to say it. I go, how I feel about the Eagles. I'm not going to say it. Can we say it?
You say it.
I called it.
You did.
Here's the God honest truth.
Mm-hmm.
This year was a little bit easier than most to call it because they really are the two best teams in the NFL.
Yeah, you know what? Philly didn't start that way, but they sure ended it that way.
Yeah, and they've had a team for a few years,
absolutely,
that have kind of had these ups and downs.
Agreed.
And then you got KC, where you can't really deny KC. So here's what I look at. Let's start with the KC side for a second, okay? The KC side, yes, they know how to win, and no one has an ego on that team. And you know what's amazing is that Travis Kelce has a lackluster game from a statistical standpoint, but Travis Kelce doesn't care anymore.
Yeah.
And then Patrick Mahomes, the guy's not even on the MVP list.
That's right.
And no one cares. He doesn't care.
It doesn't.
Because they're eyeing something bigger.
That's right.
Here's what I hope happens. We're staring at the equivalent of the New England Patriots.
Yes.
Undefeated season all the way to the New York Giants. That's what KC is literally staring down the pipe.
That's a good analogy because, even though they're not undefeated, very similar.
Those two things are almost of equal. Well, I don't know if they're equal weight, but they are.
They are. You know what? Technically, they are. You know why? There's an extra game this year.
Oh, there's an extra game.
There was an extra game.
So they've actually never happened before. Right. And then you got the Philadelphia Eagles. And I mean, here's a franchise that I would say in the last 6-7 years especially has always been there. I mean, for crying out loud, they got a championship under their belt. Mm-hmm. Okay? And they've been there. They've been really strong. And then they keep adding and adding and adding. And it's a very deceiving team.
Right.
And people think because last year, like guys, they started out the season incredibly.
Yeah.
And then they just dropped off. They didn't have the juice.
Right.
I mean, I love what's happening. But I want to say one thing outside of those teams. I'm going to talk to you.
Who?
Mr. in the comments section.
Okay.
When Mitch was on mat leave.
Right.
Okay? When the Mitch was on mat leave and I was by myself and I decided to say, Josh Allen.
Mat leave. Hold on a second.
Well, it wasn't mat.
I was like, the kid was.
Right. It was, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying.
okay. I was just.
Yeah, he was.
Just, there was a.
It was just.
Like, let's not get.
But they do it together.
Right. Okay.
My mat leave, a Sue mat leave.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's right. Mitch leave.
Mitch leave. He was on Mitch leave.
I was on Mitch leave.
He was on Mitch.
Yeah.
A great one, by
Thank
the way.
you.
Clip that, Amy.
Put that.
But you. And I said, Josh Allen, you're never going to win a Super Bowl. And the year that you should and probably would have won the Super Bowl,
That's right.
you got cocky. You got arrogant. You decided to get engaged. And then I made it known. And there was you little dummy,
Yep.
in the comments section.
What did he say?
You know what he said?
No.
He called me names.
Who did?
The guy in the comments section.
Did you show me this?
Go to.
I will fight him.
Oh, I responded back.
I will fight you, sir.
So on the YouTube, go to the YouTube channel at Sports Show Podcast, blue and white logo.
Right.
Go to my Josh.
And what did this said person say?
Go to my Josh Allen rant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a fuchsia sweater.
Fuchsia. It's a good color on you.
It's a great color on it. It brings out my ego.
Did you?
And I went on the rant, and he goes, "Yeah, you don't know nothing." I go, "All right, listen, maybe not, but I know a couple things." And then he goes, "Well, you're just doing it for clickbait." I go, "Yeah, hey, you dummy! It's the point of the show. All we do is for clickbait. That's what's called social media."
What we're doing here, man.
Yeah, but hey, I'm gonna go in close.
Yeah.
Mitch, I'm gonna go in close.
Yeah, get it close. You, who are you?
I wasn't wrong.
No.
I wasn't
Say
wrong.
you're sorry if you're a big man.
Say
Say you're sorry if you're a big man.
I wasn't wrong. Clickbait or not, your little boy Josh Allen, he ain't in the Super Bowl. So I want you to zoom in right here.
Right there.
Because this is what I taste like.
Can I just tell you something? Okay. I'm just going to add this one last thing. Do you know, like, I was getting a little nervous. And let me pull this back. I was actually really hoping for a Buffalo-Philadelphia Super Bowl. Dude, between greasing poles and falling through tables,
It was perfect.
and in New Orleans, like, you couldn't ask for a better. You want to talk about the perfect storm? That's the perfect storm
the
right
one,
there.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. At the end of the day, I knew they were going to lose the Super Bowl. I knew I knew they were going to lose the game the week before. There was a point in the game where he went to go do a sneak, and his body was turned around. He went to go lateral the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of laterering, he did keep it. He got enough sense to go, I got to keep this and hold it.
Yeah.
But he still wanted to do it.
Yeah.
At that moment, I knew I was right. I knew he just doesn't have it. And listen, Lamar, as good as you are, and you probably will be, sir, 3-time MVP. With all due respect, you deserve it more than ever.
Yeah.
None of you guys are ever going to prosper and go further until Patrick Mahomes decides that you guys deserve to get the pass.
Or when they decide.
Yeah.
When they decide that it just does not have to be then. You guys, I'm not joking. When I saw the KC team, and I said to Brendan, and I go, I'm like, you know what? The one now, mind you, again, we'll always go to the point. There was no McCaffrey. San Francisco, a little bit of a different demon, but it was early enough in the season where teams are still trying to figure things out.
Right.
And I looked at that KC team and I said, you know what? None of them care how they win. Guys, that's
right.
That's
that is
a
big deal.
Big deal.
How big is a deal? I'm going to ask you this. That's a big deal because, you need that team camaraderie and that ego to be out the door. How big a factor now is Andy Reid?
She don't know the difference between this and them. Now you a
W, we're Saved by the Bell by the Sports Show, playing every week. Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, Sports Show TV, at Sports Show Podcast. Amy, do it. At Sports Show Podcast. Amy can do anything.
She's the best.